Hi, my name's Patrick McClure. I'm 54 years old and I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I am what is called a Social Security disability adjudicator, which is someone who reviews medical records and makes a decision about whether a person gets Social Security disability. I used to be an attorney. Now, and I was an attorney for 14 years before that, and with a good bit of courtroom work. And quite frankly, um, you would think someone, if I've always thought to myself, if I was going to be dissuaded from being something because of my stuttering, getting up and speaking in front of a room full of people that I don't know, I would definitely be just, no, that's not something that I would do. So I can't, it's not kept me from doing anything as far as work, as anything along that line. It actually, as far as a vocation, but as far as something that I might do, I'm very nervous, and never, I, I would not sign up to be a lector at church, because the few times I've done that at my brother's wedding, at my cousin's wedding. I can't do it, because when I have a prepared text in front of me and I have to read from it, even if I go over it again and again, I see the trigger words. I see the words with the hard consonants, and I start thinking, am I going to stutter over those? And thinking about stuttering over those, I would. So it has kept me, if you will, from reading out loud a good bit in front of people. Standing in front of a group and saying things that come to my mind, even if I have notes prepared that I want to hit, point A, point B, point C, but I don't have how I'm going to do that, I can do it. But if I have to read from a prepared text, I can't do that. So my stuttering has kept me from doing that, but it's not kept me from pursuing the things that I wanted to do. One thing about my stuttering is I actually tried to use it to my advantage when I was an attorney. I didn't do a lot of trials, but I did trials, usually at least one a year. So one of the things I would do, I don't know how familiar you all are, or anyone in the audience is, with being an attorney, with a court trial, I guess I should say. But what you do at the start of the trial, you get up and you present your opening argument. And basically the opening argument is introducing yourself, introducing if you're the plaintiff, introducing the plaintiff, if you're representing the defendant, introducing the defendant, giving a little background, and then telling them how the case is going to go. By them, I mean the jury. One of the things I would always do with the jury was say to them, as I was speaking about myself, I would say, I stutter. Sometime during this trial, when I'm speaking, when I'm asking questions, when I'm speaking, I'm going to stutter. And that causes some people to be nervous. It causes some people to laugh. I'm not going to be offended if you laugh. It's funny. That's what, in society, we laugh because it sounds funny, and don't worry about it. If I stutter and you laugh, it's not going to bother me. And it did bother me a little, but it also made him pay attention to me. And that's the most important thing. You want the jury listening. When you're arguing to the jury, when you're asking questions, you wanted them to hear what you had to say. And if they think you're going to stutter, they're probably paying a little more attention to you. Because is he gonna, is he gonna stutter? And occasionally I did stutter, and it was never on purpose. I never stuttered on purpose, but occasionally I would. But throughout the trial, I thought, I don't know, I never asked the jury if they actually paid more attention to me because of it. But I thought that the juries were paying more attention to what I had to say, not necessarily because I was an eloquent speaker or because they sided with me or my client, but because they thought I might stutter. But if they're listening to you, then it might go into their brain a little more. So I kind of worked my stutter. I used it to get the jury to listen to what I had to say. Most of the time, I don't think about it because most of the time it doesn't bother me. Most of the time I don't stutter anymore. When I do start to stutter, I do stop, try and calm down, not be nervous, which is easy. I don't want to say easier said than done, which is something that sometimes I can do, sometimes I can't do. But the other way is you think of words either before you stutter, or if you see something that you're going to stutter over, you think of an alternate way to say it. For instance, most of the time I refer to my big sister as Niecy. And that's what a lot of the family call her, is we all call her Niecy. Why? For them, it's just a nice nickname for her. For me, I don't have to say the D sound. So half the time when I'm on the phone with her, and I hate to keep coming back to that, but it's the most obvious thing that I do. But also any hard consonant sound, I'm much more likely to stutter over. And so if I read through something that I know I have to read out loud, I do sort of try and run things together, because if I run it together, while it makes it more difficult maybe to pick out the words for the people who are listening to me, I'm less likely to stutter over it if I say it quickly. Well, there's a big question. Socially, it's probably made me a little more self-deprecating, because when you think the world's going to make fun of you, if you make fun of yourself first, it takes the edge off of it. Same thing with family. Although as I've gotten older and my family's gotten older, they have gotten much better about it. It's been years since anyone said anything to me about it. I still feel embarrassed. You never really get over that. Because look at the history. I mean, Porky Pig, the comedy routines of Mel Tillis, which Mel Tillis really did stutter, and he actually worked it into his act, and so good for him. But you feel an embarrassment, and even when you stutter now, because everyone around you is so uncomfortable when you stutter. And some people, kind of look away. Other people want to fill in the word for you. And other people just aren't sure what to do. They laugh nervously, and you're the center of attention. And you're not the center of attention for something positive you've done. You're not the center of attention because you have a beautiful voice. You're the center of attention because you can't say what everyone around you can say. I wouldn't give them any advice. If they're an adult stutterer, if they've stuttered their whole life, they know, they've been through what I've been through. There's nothing I can say to them that is going to, again, it's the same thing. There's nothing I can say to them that's either going to make the stuttering better. There's nothing I can say to them for them to feel better about the embarrassment they're feeling. And it's actually, it's even embarrassing for another stutterer. When I started at the Disability Determination Services, and just to make it better, it's the Department for Disability Determination Services. My first supervisor had a worse stuttering than I did. And I sat down with him and he started speaking to me. And he is stuttering, and he really had a significant stutter, much more so, as I said, than I did. And I'm both embarrassed for him because I know exactly what he's feeling and exactly how embarrassing it is to be stuttering in front of someone else. He had no idea that I stuttered. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, please don't let me stutter because he's going to think I'm making fun of him. So there's not really anything you can say to another adult stutterer, except I said to him, in a way I guess sort of similar to the way I used my stutter when I was an attorney. I told him up front, I said, I stutter. I haven't stuttered much since I was a kid, but I still stutter occasionally. So if I'm stuttering when I speak to you, please don't think that I'm making fun of you, because I'm not. Because that's the worst, when you think someone is making fun of you. And so when you're an adult stutterer and you hear another person stuttering and you've got to speak to them, how are they going to take it when you stutter? So anyhow, so no, there's not really anything I would say to them